User in your channel
All right.
started recording.
And we're live. Alrighty, ready to get the show on the road?
I've been waiting on you this entire time.
Okay.
For 2 days, Jeff.
For 2 days?
For 2 days.
Okay. Do you actually have like notes?
I don't need notes. I know exactly what I need to say.
Oh,
and that's it.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the Real Reporter Special Edition. Yes, we're back. It is the Batman spoiler-filled discussion. Yes, you heard correctly. Spoiler-filled discussion. If you haven't seen the movie, please tune out now. This is your warning.
At this point, if you haven't seen the movie, you're one of like 5 people in the whole United States that haven't seen it yet.
I mean, maybe.
It's Batman's biggest opening weekend ever.
Oh, so, let me introduce my colleague for tonight, Mr. David Feldman.
Hello.
We will be having Nick come in a little bit later. He is doing some stuff. I will, Todd. I just want to throw it out here. Welcome to the chat, Todd. I just want to throw out that this will eventually lead to spoiler-filled discussion. I just wanted to get that out of the way now. So
yeah.
My goodness, the caps was just so loud there.
Sorry.
So, not you, Todd.
Oh.
Todd, like put full caps. Why don't you discuss non-spoilers first?
Non-spoilers. Robert Pattinson was in this movie. Zoe Saldana was in this movie. No, wait, Zoe Kravitz.
No, Zoe Kravitz. Ooh.
Sorry.
Wow.
No. In my defense, I was talking to my wife. She couldn't remember which Zoe was in there, and so she goes, "The one that was in Marvel, or the one that was
the
green,
Guardians
right?
of the Galaxy."
Yeah, and I was like, "No, that's Zoe Saldana," and now she stuck in my head. You know what was really cool? Let's not talk spoilers real quick. Let's talk about the prequel, the pre-movie trailers. Morbius in 2022. That was cool.
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't like Morbius?
I don't like Jared Leto specifically.
What do you have against Jared Leto?
This is, I'm glad you brought this up.
Oh no.
Jared Leto is an overrated hack of an actor.
Okay, are you saying this because of what happened with Suicide Squad and the awful...
Partially, but also like he doesn't deserve the acclaim following and or like, I don't even know if reverence is the right word here. It doesn't, like, he's just not that great of an actor.
He's a little weird. I think it's because he's weird looking.
No, that has nothing to do with it. Plenty of people look weird. Doug Jones, for instance, the guy who's like behind every Guillermo del Toro like puppet.
Doug Jones.
He looks kind of weird, but that doesn't.
Oh, mean... he is weird looking,
right? But like he's still like a good human being.
Oh, holy crap! He's what's his face in Discovery? Oh,
yes, yeah.
Okay,
he isn't like anytime someone needs a like
alien,
like kind of strange looking character that they can apply tons of makeup to. He's very limber. He can fit in like a box if he has to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very like
he's
in
this guy.
Bunch of stuff. So
yeah, he really is. Okay.
But what I'm saying is Jared Leto, like, I hated his Joker with a passion. You obviously know this.
I mean, you're not alone in this by any means.
I mean, he sent used condoms to his co-stars.
Yeah, that's just weird. Like, did he just unwrap them and slap them around, or were they used? Like, as in,
I just imagine him looking into a mirror, doing his Joker voice. He's like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
And he's giving the old. He's saying he's doing the old rub and tug.
Yeah, he does his business, and then there you go. What a strange way to start a podcast that we haven't had since No Time to Die, mind you.
And we lost one of our viewers. Oh no.
So I just want to talk real briefly. This is now, how many years has this been since I don't even want to say Justice League, although technically
Batman versus Superman.
How many years has it been since Batman versus Superman?
Batman versus Superman came out, according to Wikipedia, 2016. So we have literally gone 7 years.
And Justice League was 2018?
I believe so, yes. And then, of course, the Zack Snyder cut, 2020.
Which we don't count the Zack Snyder cut, because it's, I mean, you could technically, but it's not really.
I'm literally falling asleep talking about it. As great as it was so fucking long. It was so long.
It's been 4 years since we've had a Batman reboot.
Yes.
A
new Batman. Now, to be fair,
was this necessary?
This Batman was originally supposed to be Ben Affleck.
Yes.
And he was also going to direct and star in it. And I see a Nikki, come on down. Or not.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah. Do you need to? I guess I'll bring him in.
User in your channel is recording.
Nicholas,
you've moved me against my will.
Okay, fine then.
User was moved out of your channel.
Oh, great.
I mean, he said against his will. I'm not gonna. I apologize, Nick. I guess it was too soon.
He probably can't.
Your channel is recording.
He couldn't even hear you because he's probably not watching the stream right now.
He's not watching the stream? Wow. What kind of supporter are you? I'm not even watching.
I mean, does he want to have a double echo? Probably not.
I mean, I'm not even watching the stream either, so I can't say anything. But anyways, we were talking about.
I heard something about Batfleck.
Yeah, no, we were talking about Batfleck. What the hell are you chewing on, bro?
Oh, can you really hear that?
Yeah,
I got some fries. I gotta fucking eat. Okay.
That was not fries, man. That was bolts. You're eating bolts.
Well, then it's called a fucking hearty meal. Deal with it.
Dear audience, I'd like to welcome Nick to the podcast
with his bolts.
So yeah, we've got Batflick. Obviously, just like you were saying, Ben Affleck was supposed to direct this one.
He was supposed to direct and star in this one. This was actually a complete redo. So what I suspect happened, and this is just me kind of like suspecting and throwing out possible scenarios, but I think what ended up happening was they had set aside all this money for the Batfleck movie, which is obviously supposed to be a continuation of the Snyderverse. Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening was they had all this money to burn, and a Batman movie that was rumored and ready to be talked about and done, but no one to helm it and no one to act in it. So of course our dear director, which I am flaking on at Matt Reeves. Right. Matt Reeves came up with his own version of the Dark Knight, and
that's partially it. He basically came aboard, he read Ben Affleck's script, he said, this is great, but I really want to do like a detective noir story. That's what I
thought they had scrubbed the script entirely before he even came on.
No, he had a chance to look at it and be like, do I want to use it? Because they'd already
but if Affleck wouldn't like direct the script that he had, then it probably wouldn't have been as good if they even use the same one anyway, because he's got a certain style and charm to his movies.
I don't know if I've actually watched a Ben Affleck movie, if I'm actually being honest with you.
Like The Town, Argo.
I haven't watched The Town. I haven't watched Argo. The movies that he makes don't really like gravitate towards. Like, I don't gravitate towards those movies. I couldn't really tell you why. Movies. Well, I mean, I feel like out of all of us, and this is not to like shit on Jim or anything. Jim probably has the most eclectic taste out of all of us for movies. And I'd be very curious how he rates like Ben Affleck movies, of which, Jim, if you are watching, are not Kevin Smith properties. Because Ben Affleck in Dogma was great. He was also great in, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't know about Argo. I don't know about The Town. So
The Town was good. Argo, that was good.
Jeremy Renner was in The Town, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Believe so. Yeah.
Interesting. Anyways,
yeah, it's a good like little lowbrow crime flick. So
it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting right into it. Oh wait, sorry. I thought you were talking about Batman for a second there. I was like, damn, we got to get introduced.
Well, so obviously we got a little bit of the background now. When this was first announced, specifically when Robert Pattinson was cast, I think there was a sharp reaction within the community.
There was a sharp reaction in this room. What are you talking about?
There was a sharp reaction, and there's a lot of people that were like, you know what? It's just he's the worst choice for this.
The worst choice?
I don't know about the worst, but
would you rather have
good.
Kevin James?
You know what? Fat Man? The Fat Batman? Oh, you know what? That could
Animaniacs already did it.
No, I'm saying...
Hold on. Well, see, here's the thing about Kevin James got kind of it got pretty good shape for Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah, and Jonah Hill got in good shape for 21 Jump Street. Would you cast him as Batman too?
Let's see. I don't want to give away my opinions about this particular casting yet, so I will refrain from answering.
Okay, then. But yeah, it's not even just because he was in Twilight that like I thought it's not that great. He's not the greatest choice for Batman. It's because like he does some weird fucking movies too.
Oh yeah,
I did like him in terrible. Good Times.
Well, okay, so if I've got a couple things being pulled up here. So let's look at Robert Pattinson.
Do we have to look at
recently? Well, just recently. Just look at his movies, right?
Okay.
So we've got Tenet, which I did not like.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And I still haven't seen it.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even realize he was in it. That's how insignificant he is to me.
I didn't know he was in it either.
And I watched the movie.
He was in The King. He was in The Lighthouse. He's done a lot of, I would consider, more artsy films.
The one where it's 9/11?
Which one is that?
Where it's 9/11. Which one was that?
Hold on, I'm looking at your list. It was after Twilight.
Maps to the Stars?
No. Wait, that sounds like a Hallmark movie.
I did not realize he was T.E. Lawrence. That's pretty interesting.
Being in the Desert, never seen it.
Oh yeah, what? Oh no, what movie was it? But it was definitely. I mean, yeah. Here's a spoiler cast for you. The ending it's all 9/11. It's like doesn't start and it doesn't tell you anything about the movie. Doesn't even tell you the time period. But then it ends in.
Oh, 9/11. Good Time.
No, it wasn't Good Time.
Was it Good Time?
It was not Good Time. That was closer to Batman movie than anything he's ever done.
I mean, he looks about the same. Just
are we sure that it's?
Are we sure it's a 9/11 movie?
100% positive.
Cosmopolis. Let's see.
Well, anyways, I feel like we're getting away from the whole thing here.
Yeah, dude. He's riding across Manhattan in a stretch limo in order to get a haircut.
Oh, well, that's a David Cronenberg film. That's automatically going to be
weird.
a little strange.
Mm.
Like, let's just be realistic here.
You know what? You know what sounds like a 9/11 movie? Water for Elephants. Let's take a look at that.
Oh man, this fucking list did not age well. There's a list that came
1911.
There's a list that came out in 2019. 11 actors who could play Batman now that Ben Affleck is out. You got Jake Gyllenhaal.
No.
Timothy Chalamet.
Who?
The kid who was in Dune.
Oh God, no.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan. Which I think he's supposed to be tapped for a Superman film. Which
you know,
I could definitely see him as a Superman.
Now here's the thing, Michael.
Remember
B. Jordan
Me.
Would be
That's
great.
the name of the movie.
I already forgot him. Michael B. Jordan, I think, would be fantastic as what was his name? Bat Force? No. Which one's the mech suit Batman? Does anyone know Batman lore?
I don't remember the mech suit Batman, but I know what you're talking about.
Basically during Batman's Inc., there was a mech suit Batman, and that was Lucius Fox's son.
Yeah, well, other than just him being black, he wouldn't be that great because the mech suit Batman, I don't remember his name, but he was very meek.
Which not in any of the portrayals I've seen.
What portrayals? He hasn't been in a movie.
Yeah. Well, he's been in the animated DC universe.
Timothy Fox. He eventually becomes
Timothy
Batman.
Fox.
Well, okay. So Ben Barnes is another one who you probably don't know who Ben Barnes is. Oscar Isaac. That would be an interesting one, but he's doing Moon Knight now. So I'm not saying that you can't go to Marvel and then go back to DC or whatever, but it's just.
I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, him being Batman and then him being DC's Batman.
Oscar Isaac definitely does have the jawline.
Or being Marvel's Batman.
The reason why I say this list doesn't age very well is because Armie Hammer is a cannibal. So no.
Oh no.
You may want Kit Harington to play the next Batman, aka Jon Snow. That's not happening.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Jon Snow can't even be an interesting character in a travesty of a movie.
So I mean, this is circa 2019. So this
Jaden Smith?
Yeah, Jaden Smith.
What? No.
Oh, that's actually a pretty interesting render. Javier Bardem.
I would no. You know what make it interesting? Jaden Smith would have made a very interesting Riddler.
I could see that.
Well,
right?
Okay. So, do you know who was originally supposed to play Riddler?
You know who I should think who should have played Riddler. Not saying anything against this phenomenal Riddler, but I would have really liked to see Robert Pattinson as the Riddler.
No.
Because I'm thinking, scrawny little weirdo, and that's Robert Pattinson to a T. Andrew Garfield, maybe?
Jonah Hill was supposed to play.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's originally supposed to play.
No, don't say that.
Serious.
I kind of feel like they really messed up with their whole universe thing by putting what's the kid from Zombieland?
The guy who did Social Media.
God damn it! I know it's on the top.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, there you
as Riddler, but they added him as Lex Luthor.
Horrible.
Yeah, that was weird.
By the way. Horrible.
Yeah, especially once they shaved his head and then he was talking more. I was like,
I didn't mind him once he was fully transformed. Actually.
Okay. Well, anyways, so I think we've come to a good part in the conversation. We're 20 minutes in, so if you we're not expecting spoilers at this point, I apologize. We're going to spoilers now.
Spoiler alert!
Catwoman gets decapitated.
God damn it! Thankfully,
oh
no.
shit!
Although I do have a
Wow.
funny thing about that later on. Not the decapitation part. Just making sure I pointing that out right now.
Spoiler alert: she was not decapitated.
Right.
Fully.
Nearly headless zombies. Okay.
So I saw this Sunday.
Just one thing. I just noticed that in TeamSpeak, I'm not recording, so I don't know.
No, that's fine. We're doing dual recordings as a backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
so
cool.
you're good. I'm doing multi-track. He's doing single. I just want to be sure we
Okay,
got it.
cool.
So I saw this Sunday. I'm not sure what day David and Nick you saw it. But basically the theater itself wasn't like super crowded. Saw it at 7:30. I asked the guy who's handing out popcorn, it's like, so how long is this movie? He's like, oh, it is 3 hours and 10 minutes. And that
3 hours
is when
and 10 minutes.
And that is when I began to be filled with regret.
I was gonna say it's not 3 hours 10 minutes. Maybe he was adding in all the
trailers.
I would probably say so.
I know so because it's 2 hours 58 minutes is the actual runtime.
I mean, that's still 3 hours though.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm very aware. That's why I, read IMDb and saw the runtime and said I need to pee first. Because that is
thankfully
3 hours.
Thankfully, I went to the restroom before. I also had like just a Sprite that I drank very conservatively because I was like, I can't do that anymore with 3 hour man. Like, so I'm gonna be honest with you. This movie too. I was even talking to Jim about this because he was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about seeing him on the fence." I feel a little spoiled by movies, especially at the day one release on streaming, because I'm just so used to now like being able to hit pause and go to the restroom. Like 3 hour movies don't feel like 3 hours. This one made me feel the 3 hours the entire film. Not because
so it's one of those like that film so long that your ass starts hurting, but you're noticing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Not because like the length of itself is. Jeez, thanks Whiplash. What a lovely thing to show. Basically, it didn't feel like it was that long, painfully so. The pacing of the film,
not according to my ass.
I mean, the pacing of the film was, I'd say, incredibly. It was a lot.
Slow.
It was slow. So
it was slow.
The opening of the film, basically, from what I can remember, because this is now like 2 days since I saw it, so there some of the details might be a little bit fragmented. It starts off very like out of focus because you're supposed to be from the Riddler's perspective, or who are later seen to be the Riddler.
Yeah, you're seeing the original crime take place.
Right.
Not really from the Riddler's perspective, though.
It is from it's first person Riddler. You're watching.
He's got the binoculars and he's going like back, and you can hear his breathing.
That
part. Okay.
So just like every Batman film since the Nolan trilogy, you get an introduction to the bad guy very first thing, which I thought was cool. It was a nice little nod to the Batman, all the Batmen before this one. But this movie definitely reminds me of the Zodiac Killer. If you guys haven't seen that movie, I suggest you do.
That's the one with Gyllenhaal?
Yes,
I believe think so.
Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo. Like before Iron Man. Or anything
this is old. It's old.
2004 maybe. I might be a little bit off with that.
Yeah.
So the Riddler itself, he isn't immediately like revealed like this is the Riddler. I have to admit, the opening scene with him just like standing behind the dude, as like he's like talking on the phone, I was like, God damn, this is creepy. Like this is kind of like a horror movie so far,
right?
You just see the glint in his mask.
Yeah,
of his two eyes. It's like, it was a bit creepy.
Yeah, it was, but
Oh,
it
it's
was
fantastic.
well done. So, that part was really good. Just the overall opening scene.
Because I'd say, out of all the Batman movies I've watched, this was the best introduction of the Batman I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like, because as they didn't like one, they didn't show him getting his parents fucking shot again.
dude,
Uh,
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I'm not gonna lie to you, and I know maybe this was like purposeful. Whenever I saw the kid in like the Halloween costume, and then I
you
see the dude like walk up in his like tuxedo or whatever, I was like, oh no. No, we're about to watch the death scene. Is it going to take place at their house now? And then they start talking about like they say his name or whatever, and I was like, oh, it's not Thomas Wayne.
Mm-mm.
Thank fucking God. Because there's only so many times you can watch the pearls like fall onto the ground, and then Bruce
Like,
Wayne
because
Come
is.
I
on.
think that's what the movies are doing these days is, yeah, it's been done over and over again. We don't need to see it. Just like the latest Spider-Man movies, they're not showing Uncle Ben dying because he's gonna keep dying. We already know.
Yeah, because with Homecoming, he was already gone by that point. Like you
Yep.
never
Yeah,
saw
exactly.
Uncle Ben, so yeah, I definitely think that was the
We're
right
not
tactic.
entirely sure. To be fair, though, we're not entirely sure he was even he's was ever killed.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I never read
Like
thought
you
Yeah,
just
about
know
it.
it
he's
could be
not
just
there.
we know he's not there. We know he's died, but we don't
Do
know
we?
if yeah,
Are you
because
sure?
he's mentioned Ben once.
I don't
I
even remember that.
I distinctly remember him mentioning it once. Exactly where I can't say, but I know he did.
Okay.
Unless it's Mandela effect. Shit, maybe there was no Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben was
I just
never
all I
around.
know is there was a very single, very attractive Aunt May. That's all I know.
Uh,
So the opening of this movie, though, as soon as we're going to say Bruce Wayne starts narrating, I immediately was like, "Oh man, this is like Rorschach with Watchmen," because the voice was the
mhm.
same. He was like, "This city doesn't know blah blah blah," and I was like, "Oh man, I'm getting some heavy Watchmen vibes right now." Um, I thought it was kind of clever how they were showing like from the shadows they look up at the spotlight and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I'm starting to get
Yeah,
kind of
because they're talking about the fear of Batman. Like
right,
that's his whole thing with the criminals is he doesn't want them to know that yeah, he can punch him very hard. He's like he wants them to fear him.
right."
And so when they like yeah, if they see that light, they know something's up and every criminal doing like the pettiest of crimes, they're just getting scared at the shadows. I was like, all right, I'm on board.
So the part where he actually like walks out for the first time and like the boot sitting the ground, like this is all great. This is the
It
part
is.
I liked his introduction.
I
I
was
really did.
underwhelmed.
Well,
I'm
Have you
sorry, but
ever
like
been whelmed?
I've been whelmed.
okay, so I just want to point this out real quick. I have talked to David before about what his favorite Batman movie is. We have gone around this for many years now.
Yep.
I personally think The Dark Knight is like the benchmark. David
Eh.
does not agree that the Dark Knight is the benchmark.
Right, and the reason why I say that is because it's a terrible movie. The only reason people accolade it, give it so many accolades, is because of one good actor. One good actor does not redeem an entire movie of trash.
Hmm.
Nick,
And
what is your
Just
favorite Batman movie?
my
well,
favorite Batman movie.
yeah, no, I want to hear David's right, is considered just trash. What is your favorite Batman movie, and would you also consider it trash or gold standard?
Gold standard to me is the Batman Returns.
Oh God.
It truly is.
I
mean, it was
I was
like
talking to Jim about this, because that's also his favorite.
because it was so good.
Hold on, I need to consult his list just to make sure that I am speaking for him accurately. I consider Batman Returns just really campy. Not as campy as the '60s film.
Say, dude, bro.
Which by all rights is a classic in its own right.
Have you never seen any movie after the Batman? Which one was
we don't talk about the Joel Schumacher films. We don't talk about Bat Nipples.
The Bat Nipples?
Because this is the thing.
Yeah, the Clooney with the Bat credit card. Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. That was
that's platinum standard right there.
Listen, as far as like introductions to Batman himself, I like this one. Now, I will say it was at this part in the movie where I was like, man, I wonder how much they spent on rain machines for this film. Because
a lot, because it was never not raining.
From that moment on, I was telling Julia about this. I was like, I just felt like I was drenched the entire film.
Everyone in this movie is just moist.
But not only that, Nick, they went for a lovely sense of realism, so much that you know how in correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle Pfeiffer is Batman Returns, Catwoman, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear her suit move when she moved?
Yeah, absolutely did.
Did you
in Batman Returns?
Yeah. Like, did you hear it? Hear it? Like, constantly. Because every single time Batman moves in this movie, it's very methodical and it's just and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I need that much realism in my film. I don't know if I need that much.
Covered in metal, but when you brought up where he in the beginning, the introduction where he steps out of the shadows and you just hear the boots.
Yeah.
It was that multiple times throughout the movie where you just hear the heaviest fucking steps.
Like, right. Is he like 1,000 pounds? Like, I know he's the scrawniest Batman, but you think he'd be able to lift up his suit.
That suit, though, is pretty
jokey,
heavy, I would say.
Hilarious looking, weird. Why has he got a pop collar? Why does he have a pop collar?
For protection against knives.
Protection against
ears.
All right. Before I trigger David even more.
Pop collars. Pop collars do not protect you against knives, sir. Look, this asshole right here. The Batman can sit here and take shotgun after shotgun shell, pistol after pistol hit, multiple freaking submachine gun strikes like nothing. He just shakes them off like it's nothing. He just starts beating and wailing on other people with the softest Batman fist I've ever seen. But
he takes one shotgun.
He takes one shotgun at the very end of the movie when they realize it wasn't a detective war movie anymore. Oh, wait, we're making a superhero movie. Hold on, let's add some false bullshit in here and pretend like it matters now. He got hit by the most massive shotgun of all shotguns. Apparently, this guy was carrying around a bazooka. This dude took a freaking bomb to the face. Somehow his face is shielded too. Didn't even get a black eye. But the shotgun knocked him down. Oh, whatever. Fuck this movie.
Are you done with your rant? Because
I'm not yet, but yeah, no, continue. Sorry.
Right. This is year 2 Batman.
Bullshit Batman.
Okay, baby, it's gonna be okay.
It's not.
This is year 2 Batman because this Batman keeps a diary and he literally writes year 2 on the front cover. And he's like, "This is my high school. This is my high school diary."
Like this
like he keeps it in his Bat Trapper Keeper.
Yeah,
Bat Keeper.
Listen,
hold on. Full pause though. Let's talk about where he's writing all this down. Full pause. What kind of fucking bullshit garage ass shitty bat cave is this anyway?
Probably a second year bat cave.
Not even a second year bat cave. All they did was like, oh, here we got a little longer back walkway. Here's some bats so that you're in the bat cave. but it's like sad and tiny.
It's an abandoned metro tunnel that no one uses. He even has like a
Underneath-
secret entrance to it.
Right, but is it a secret entrance? It was more or less the fact that just people forgot about it and he sealed it up.
Well, no, because he goes down the stairs on his bike, and
Yeah.
then
Into a
you see the
subway.
gate open up,
Yeah.
and then once he goes through it, it closes down with.
Yeah, you can see it here.
Those-
I've got like it looks like I would say Grand Central Station type styling for like the railings.
Yeah,
and
it
the
looks like
doors.
an abandoned subway station,
Right.
that somebody
Mhm.
forgot, and very similar to probably the millions of subway stations underneath New York City,
Okay.
where it just got buried and someone forgot about it. It just okay. Look, here's the thing: Batman
Because it's
movies.
not a cave.
Oh, you can even see the rail cars in the
It doesn't have to be a
background.
cave, though. It doesn't have to be a cave. Literally, in the sense of the word, it doesn't have to be a cave. But the Bat Cave itself is always a character in the movie. It is something, a sight to behold. You feel the ambiance of the Bat Cave, and where this guy does his training and his work and stuff. Every
I
single
don't know
movie
if my
until this movie did an amazing job with. I would think, after 2 years.
Well,
You're-
okay.
you're-
Here's the thing, though. Yes, it's 2 years, but
Mhm.
he's. I want to say he's trying to keep a semi-low profile to a certain degree, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the film, because there's a moment where like this whole thing almost fell apart for him. But basically, like, to me, it seems that the focus of this particular Batman is very much like just getting the
I
job
am
done.
vengeance.
As much, I mean, I couldn't help myself as soon as when he was like, "What are you?" He was like, "Vengeance."
No, you gotta say it right. You gotta say it in Pattinson's voice. Vengeance.
God damn. So as soon as he said it, I was just like, oh, okay, they're gonna go that route. But
yeah, but I liked how they didn't do the thing with like how the Nolan movies do, where they add like just a stupid amount of gravel. It's just him being more serious. It's not like
that's
trying
true.
to actually mask his voice with like a fake voice.
The voice was perfect. I thought the voice, I was not bothered by it. Okay, so let's fundamentally take a step back here. The Batman himself was great. I loved the suit. Sorry, David. I love the suit. I love the voice.
I like the suit.
The actual like acting was a little kind of wooden, like, because he was very much just like there was a lot of takes where he's just like standing in the corner and just staring, and you're like, I don't know if you're trying to be intimidating, dude, but it just comes off as like you're just like at a party and you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, well, are you talking about all the scenes where he's at like a crime scene?
Yeah, like now I get that in most cases he's actually like the detective aspect was fantastic. Him like looking down and going like, oh, this is what happens, or like this will match like this thing back at the crime scene. That part was great. But every moment where he's just kind of standing there, just being a creeper, just kind of staring into space, like he's like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm listening to that Kurt Cobain Nirvana song in my head. Because that's how the movie opens, is with that song.
Yeah, but I don't know if I said this, but I thought that he does a great Batman, but he does a very shitty Bruce Wayne.
Oh, there is no Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Oh yeah, there is. There's plenty of Bruce Wayne.
No, there's no Bruce. I'll tell you why there's no Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Why?
Because he's just a wimpy motherfucker who's trying to act like Bruce Wayne, which has always been the case for Batman. Bruce Wayne is supposed to be the fake Batman. essentially.
Yeah.
He's just
You
there
mean the
on the
persona.
surface, the persona, but like
he
I was
is
telling-
Batman and he wears the mask of Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, correct. So that's adequately represented in this, I think. But what I'm trying to say,
not even a little bit.
Hold on. The fact that the persona is there. What I'm trying to say is that, like, I was trying to explain to someone at work because he's like, how was it? How was Bruce Wayne? I said, well, this is not the Bruce Wayne that you're used to. He doesn't try to act like a bachelor. He's definitely
not the socialite yet.
He's definitely not a
Mhm.
socialite. He's not doing, like, he is basically one step removed from being Batman 100% of the time. The only time he's out of the costume is because he's got to eat and probably take a shower. And I think that was not necessarily a critical mistake that they made in this, because one thing I appreciate, there was one particular scene, Alfred comes in, he's like, hey, the accounting staff is here. He's like, well, why are they here? Because you want to go to them. And I was like, oh man, we're about to see like a boring ass scene with the accounting people. And they just cut and it's on to the next thing. I was like, okay, cool. This is all about the Batman. The entire movie. The Bruce Wayne thing, he's there as a character and only to provide a driver to the story moving forward. He is not there for show. He's not there for comedy. He's literally just there just to get to propel Batman's story forward, in my opinion.
It also played a very important part of the story and the mindset of Batman as well. If you really think about it. Because of that scene that you mentioned, you failed to mention the most important part of that scene, was the fact that his fortune is getting dwindled away. He's sitting there spending all this money on the bat gear and his lack of a bat cave and his like in pieces car, and for whatever reason, the 90% of the time he's driving around on a motorcycle.
Because he's building the car as he goes.
Right, but I understand that.
Yeah, because motorcycles are fun.
Because, like, he couldn't have just, done that car in, like, a good, like, one day. But, that's how it seemed like, because apparently that car was in pieces, and somehow, magically, in 3 days, it wasn't.
Well,
but
I mean, I want to say...
Tell me you've never fixed a car without telling me you've never fixed a car.
No, I mean, I'm saying he magically had a car from nothing to everything in 3 days. While still crime fighting.
No, I mean, the chassis was there. The chassis was there under the blanket.
Right.
The engine block was off to the left.
Still in pieces.
No, it wasn't.
Most of it was together. There was still
complete
like
engine.
You're talking about the camshaft pistons and stuff like that. Yeah, those are pieces that can be put in the car in like an hour.
An hour.
Yes, because I've done it to my car.
In an hour?
Yes.
I think you're being I don't know about an hour.
Okay, hold up. I'm just going to say something real quick.
Okay.
You're okay with everything. Listen, this movie, I will say, is the most realistic portrayal of Batman yet. Let's be honest here.
I will give you that. Hockey pads is a very realistic Batman.
No, not even that. I'm just talking.
Pads?
I'm talking about.
He's wearing hockey pads.
I'm talking about the first time he quote unquote takes flight. Like
the fat squirrel suit.
I mean, yeah, but like it's a realistic take on the fact that his cape more than likely is not going to give him the actual lift he needs to go around the city flying. So the fact that
it doesn't have like full on Wayne tech technology.
Right. First off, Batman never flew. He glided.
No, I'm saying he. I understand that, but
like
if we look at the cape, if we look at the cape in this movie, it's not going to do.
Collar cape.
It's not going to do what it did in Batman Begins, where he's like, "Well, you run an electrical curve for it, and it turns stiff, and blah 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 blah." Like. I appreciated this. I appreciated this movie for the fact that, for the most part, if you had enough money,
movie,
right? If you had enough money, you could build that Bat car, for instance. If you had enough money, like that could be something that you could build.
Absolutely,
There's nothing.
He definitely has a DIY sense to it.
The only thing they would say that was probably like kind of out there was the retinal pieces, like the contact lenses.
That was a little much.
Like, okay, so hold on. So this Batman couldn't be bothered to put lenses into his cowl, where it was much more likely to have a better power source and everything like that. So where's the power source? How is this camera supposed to be working properly?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't tell you. I could give you some bullshit thing about like thermal conductivity or something in the eyes.
Thermal conductivity.
But you know,
right.
Like,
so like come on, man.
But like, you're okay. You're okay with that?
Is what you're telling me. He wants to wear makeup.
You're okay with that? Versus, first off, I thought that was a great idea.
Because like
because it shows her the first time. Like when the director pointed it out, he's like, "Listen, you don't just magically take off your mask and the eye makeup is gone. Like that's what happens with every other Batman."
True.
Like the fact that he actually
every Batman wore the black. Yeah, every Batman wore the black makeup. I get it. Right.
But like they actually show it in this. It just happens to be.
What I'm saying, it was a choice. He wanted to wear the makeup because this guy, so this is a Batman that's not smart enough to remember everything or remember important details of any case, right? We can assume we can infer that much from the fact that he needs to have a recording device and rewatch everything that he actually did. So because of that, he created technology to be able to video record everything so that way he can be quote unquote a detective. Which let's be honest with you, he was a terrible detective. He did not know a damn thing. Everyone had to spoon feed him everything, and he got half of it wrong anyway. That's besides the point.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
Wait, say
what?
That.
Yes. What did he get wrong?
Literally every single clue.
Oh, okay, just literally everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, literally every single clue. The Riddler literally had to spell out the important ending for him because he didn't even know what the hell a carpet lifting tool looked like, even though he knew for a fact that it was used as a murder weapon.
Well,
no,
okay,
shit, there was blood on it.
Hold on.
Let me get back to what I was trying to say. This Batman decided he wanted to wear makeup and the cowl because he didn't need to. He could easily put those lenses into his cowl, thus shielding his eyes, thus protecting his eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out to you. I'm gonna throw this out to you.
More realistic video.
Cool. I'm gonna throw this out to you for one thing.
Okay.
Maybe he bought it from someone. Okay, I don't know who.
He didn't bought the cowl.
No, he didn't buy the cowl from someone. He bought the lenses from somebody. We'll just throw that out.
The contact lenses that have magical. Obviously, they have.
He wouldn't have done that. It would all be Wayne Tech. He steals from his own company. That's like established.
Okay, so he stole that from his own company. Maybe we'll just establish that link. Okay, everything else about that is very, I would say, handmade to a certain degree. The car was handmade. He's being very practical, I think, in not trying to just throw every single piece of technology. He's learning as he goes, like the electrical like shock system that he had in the very like opening parts of the movie.
That was just a stun gun.
It was just a stun gun, right? Like he's slowly taking the time to build up his arsenal. And like if this was year 5 Batman, I would definitely expect the cowl to be fucking fully integrated and have wireless, all that jazz. But he's basically taking the technology that he has now and trying to integrate it as quickly as possible because he doesn't have time to sit there and research on how to do this. He doesn't have a Lucius Fox in the background right now, from what we can tell, building all this cool shit for him. Because in Batman Begins, the Nolan trilogy, Batman didn't do shit for his tech. He literally
Batman
just
in general usually doesn't anyway. It's all Lucius Fox.
But that's
Lucius
what they're
Tech.
establishing in this.
Or
They're
Fox
establishing
Tech,
they're establishing that yes, he is the one that's building all of his own shit. Everything is custom for him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a man inside yet. Because no one else has gotten onto his crusade.
Perfect example. Yeah, he's definitely a Batman that builds his own stuff. Great comment. Makes him smarter. So I think well, okay, again, David, I'm gonna keep throwing this out here. Year 2, The man is obviously sleep deprived. He keeps saying, "Yeah, I'm a nocturnal animal now."
He
But
said it once.
I understand. Like if we're looking at this Batman, this is the most emo Batman we've ever had. Ever. The
Yeah,
fact
he's definitely
when he takes off his mask and he's got that haircut, he's emo Bruce Wayne. And by God, Robert Pattinson knows how to play emo. Like, dude, it's almost it's horrifically bad how emo he is.
Yeah, that and okay, for a socialite, who Bruce Wayne is, but then also in a practical sense, Batman would have a closer cut than what he has. Even
Are
if
you talking about like muscle?
no,
no,
his
I'm
hair.
talking his hair.
Oh yeah.
Like he wouldn't have like
How does he
the
not have
long
helmet
locks
hair?
that he have. He would have
Uh,
a buzz cut.
Like, how does
If
he not
this
have
is year
helmet hair?
2.
Let's be honest. How does he not have helmet hair
He
under that
has
cap?
that though.
That
He
he
does
doesn't though. His hair is like, oh, it's perfect and wavy and slightly wet because apparently he sweats
No.
magically now.
No,
He sweats magically. He probably just sweats. What?
look. There's this very specific thing. I even got it up. It's kind of a. There's a better shot. I know.
It's the one. Yeah,
There we
he's
go.
sweaty. He's sweaty.
Yeah.
But that's not helmet hair. Helmet hair when you wear a helmet,
But
it
it's
mats
not.
down.
But it's
But
not
then
perfect.
if you shake it, then it's
I was like,
not.
shakes his hair like a
Like it's not like he's coming out with Farrah Fawcett feathering, like a Charlie's Angel kind of shot.
I mean, that's what I feel like
okay.
you're describing him though.
But I liked the eye makeup when he takes it off. Yes, it makes him look more emo. If we're being honest, he's got a My Chemical Romance vibe going on.
I was literally gonna say this Batman is My Chemical Romance meets Taking Back Sunday.
But I mean, overall, the suit in general, besides that, I really like the suit. I think it's cool. I think it's great for year
Okay, hold on.
2.
Can you explain the tube things?
The tube things.
What is his tube things on his gauntlet?
Oh.
Why does he have tubey gauntlet?
Oh, okay. So I was trying to figure that out myself, and at first I thought it was like throwing spikes, but then it's just metal guards. Just exposed metal.
Oh, you're talking about okay, I got what
like
you're
on
saying.
his wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just exposed metal, like they're just metal guards.
Yeah, they're not doing anything per se. Besides being, a guard.
Weird.
No, I mean it's metal for blocking enemy.
Is this the
Batman? But he's
forgive me
he's
for
got
asking
the back.
this. Is this the Batman that has like the guns that murdered his parents like in the chest plate?
Are you talking about? Oh, that's yeah. That was supposed to be that Batman. Yes, but I think that was the Ben Affleck Batman. No.
Yeah, because this one they say like it's an unsolved case in this, so
right.
he wouldn't have the gun.
Ezra makes a good point. He suggests those are the cables for his grappling gun.
It's possible, but again, it's literally like tubes. It doesn't look like metal rope or any type of like anything. And does this Batman have like a belt? Does he have a utility belt at all? I can't remember.
Yes, he does. Because
so that's what I would assume he keeps the grapples.
Well, yeah, but they would all be within because he can. There's been times he's brought out the grappling hook from his wrist like in really quick, so he wouldn't have like attached it to his belt first. It would just be in his somewhere hidden in his arm. So yeah, that tracks. It could be just the cables like wound up.
Maybe that's where the cable's running through, because I know he's used it as a weapon, literally as a weapon, in a few cases where he's literally like grapple hook through somebody's leg.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, that's an acceptable.
Pattinson, hold on. Pattinson's Batman costume is okay.
I know it's a batarang. That's how much I know that for a fact. I think
that's
the original
not a batarang.
No, it wasn't. No. The chest plate It's a batarang.
I thought I saw him take it off, but it was just a knife. He never
Well,
uses it as a
he
batarang.
doesn't use it as a batarang, but it's supposed to be a batarang, I believe, like a foldable back.
Oh, of course, Kevin Smith of it. Of course,
But
Kevin Smith was the one who made that originally in the comics. Oh, that's funny.
Originally, I believe the concept was it was supposed to be made from the parents' death, the guns from that death.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
make the
believe that was the
metal
original
pay for its
concept.
sins, forge it into something
Yeah.
useful. The metal that broke my heart as a child will protect my heart as a man.
Mhm.
Cool. I don't know. Like I liked the suit. Batman itself was fine. The movie as a whole, though, was it felt like there's a lot of fat that we could have trimmed.
In my opinion, I agree.
And I get, they're trying
And they
to
could have
really
done better with the detectiveness of it. Because this one, it was less he was being like a detective, and there was just more of him solving riddles, obviously, because it's the Riddler, but that's pretty much how they show his world's greatest detectiveness is.
I gotta say, no. Here's the thing, and this is my pure opinion. I think this is an amazing noir detective story. The movie itself is fantastic. If you take the first 75% of this movie, completely remove Batman as a factor, and throw in a detective, an ace detective, or an old gumshoe, this movie would be freaking great. Like, I mean, I would love this movie if it wasn't a Batman movie. It starts out very Zodiac killer esque. The bad guys are intriguing. Colin Firth is freaking amazing as the Penguin.
Oh yeah.
Colin Farrell?
Firth.
No, Colin Farrell.
Is Farrell? That's
It's
even
not.
crazier.
That's not. It's definitely not Firth.
Sorry. Either way, blew my mind. I didn't even recognize the guy. Okay. Phenomenal acting. Everything about this movie screams classic detective, classic nose to the grind, solving mysteries.
It was
As
very
a Batman movie, I wasn't sold, and the main reason why is, again, I felt like you could completely have removed Batman as a character, as a hero, and it wouldn't have changed the story at all. That's just my
that's where it
personal
failed.
belief.
That's
So
where it
you're
fails
saying
for
this
you.
movie would have like also worked as if they had started The Question?
It could have, yes. I mean, you're not. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it literally, it plays out as a thriller. It plays out as a noir thriller with obviously a old school detective vibe to it. It felt like they forgot entirely that it was a Batman movie until the last like third of the movie, when they're like, oh crap, we're making a Batman movie. Let's have them fight, and the Riddler somehow magically win again, because apparently the Batman couldn't figure out his clues, and everybody else had to give him clues and tell him answers to the issues, that he was able to finally figure out everything. Fine, world's greatest detective. I'm okay with that. But here's the
I don't
thing.
know. I felt like I see what you're saying. Not to cut you off. I see what you're saying.
No, go.
The portrayal of the characters. I see this fitting as a great Batman movie. Now, is it my favorite Batman movie? I definitely have to rewatch it again to satisfy that. And it's going to have to be basically one of those things where I really take my time, pause it, get up, walk around, continue watching it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I can't watch it in theaters again. I don't think my bladder could take it.
No. So, like, if we're just running off the top of our head here, the Riddler was fantastic. Paul Dano did a great job as the Riddler. Jeffrey Wright, wonderful as Commissioner. Well, I'm sorry, not Commissioner Gordon.
No, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Gordon. He doesn't. I don't think he becomes commissioner officially in this.
He does not.
So Lieutenant Gordon, perfect. I liked their banter, kind of going back and forth. He was like, "I don't even know who you are, man." That type of stuff. That one. That's like the only small smidgen of humor in this entire movie because God knows Batman.
I'm not gonna lie. I laughed my ass off when Batman face planted onto the street. That was hilarious.
That was funny because especially he
Oh
was
no,
just like,
that was a gut buster. Like
right.
Or the
but the scene where he decks Gordon, and then he was like, "Yeah, you could have pulled your punches." Like, I did.
That was good too.
I mean,
that was very good.
Like, but the thing is like you're not going to get the comedy really from Batman. Like he just doesn't, which plays into the whole.
It would be the driest humor, though.
Right, but like he doesn't.
Batman's want to do.
He doesn't crack a smile this whole time, right? Andy Serkis as Alfred, I thought was okay. He was.
I didn't like it.
I didn't.
It's
like
Alfred.
It.
It's Alfred.
I'm sorry. I just kept expecting him to bust out some not mithril. What? Oh, mithril, or possibly even some vibranium.
You realize he's played in other movies, right?
That's
what I was hoping that David was going to be like. I was wanting him to walk out like Caesar the ape, because he's been in that. And then
he was phenomenal.
Master Bruce.
He was talking about my precious.
Oh Lord. As far as the relationship between Alfred, I just want to point out something. The relationship between Alfred and Bruce in the movie, like I don't even know if we were like 20 minutes into the movie because like, "You're not my dad, Alfred.
You're not my dad."
And I was just like,
thank God.
What relationship? There was no relationship.
That was the least like. Alfred. That was the least best relationship, I would say, because there was.
See, the thing is that how Alfred was talking to him, he was a lot more familiar because he never calls him like Master Wayne or Master Bruce. He just says Bruce.
Right.
And then but how
you don't get the sense
Bruce talks to him. It's just you work for me.
Right. You don't get the sense of like to me, Alfred's always kind of carried an air of like, I'm very not. I wouldn't say posh. I would say proper.
Yeah, he's a man's man.
He's a butler. He's a traditional. He's a gentleman.
And you know that they've pulled like his actual history before all that. He was in the service. He was, I want to say MI6 at one point or something along this. He's lived a life of action. He knows how to get through shit.
Oh, he's always had. He definitely hasn't. He's always had, in every iteration, in my opinion, an air of I'm a badass and I could kick your ass, kind of like
right.
Like you knew that. You felt that.
Definitely a Mrs. Beakley. Mm-hmm.
But it feels like what happened with them, and obviously this is conjecture at this point. It feels like Alfred like sent him off to boarding school or something. And just was like, get the fuck out of the house. You need to get out and do your own thing. And then he like came back and he was like, well, you weren't really the dad that you were supposed to be. Like it felt like the father factor wasn't there. Like that you get in later movies. Like, and maybe it's just because he's just come back or something. He's trying to do his, Batman thing. He doesn't care about anything besides the mission. I think the movie, I think that relationship suffers as a result of it because, like, the dude literally is in the hospital bed, opens his eyes, smiles, and he's like, Bruce really does care. And the very first thing is just like, you fucking lied to me, you asshole. and you just see, like, the smile, like, slowly fade. He was like, oh, yeah, Master Bruce is a real bitch. Like, he just, man.
Yeah, so, like I said, last
Alfred was fine.
Minutes.
Zoe Kravitz
nice to see that there
Catwoman.
was at least one other person that works in the Wayne Manor with Dorothy.
Yeah,
that's a brand new character. That was kind
of weird. The little twist where he wasn't answering the phone or whatever when the bomb went off.
Yeah, and you were in the theater at the same time, like, why won't you just answer the phone? Stop opening the mail for a second and just answer that phone. And
right.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of clever.
Well, it also shows that obviously no one really knows he's Batman except for Alfred.
No, I mean that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
But you know how superhero I want to say in the last okay, I'll say since the Marvel movies pretty much started, superheroing has been night of a thousand reveals where everyone who has a secret identity, like the first person that smiles at them nicely, they'll like, hey, did you know I'm also a superhero, but you got to keep it secret, okay? And then, you know, they immediately get murked by the bad guy and like, all right, I'm never going to tell anybody. Hey, do you want to know who I am? Because I'm a superhero. Excuse me, sir.
He goes,
well, but that's the funny part about this is that there's that whole scene where the Riddler is like Bruce Wayne,
like super creepy,
and like the entire time you're like you can tell
Bruce Wayne.
Batman is just like fuck. 2 years into this, and someone's already got my identity.
I was going, fuck, he knows it. He knows.
And then he says he's like, I don't know who Bruce Wayne or whatever. Like it's quite clear, like he doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
But the thing is, I think that he does because I think it's in Hush or it's in The Long Halloween. One of those. Well, yeah. So in the comics, it's revealed that Riddler's always known who the Batman was. It's just he keeps it to himself because he does like the
I'm talking
the challenge of somebody trying to put a riddle that he can't.
Right. But I'm talking within the context of this movie specifically. Like you get the sense that all of a sudden he's like, I really don't know who Batman is. And like you could see the fucking relief like telegraphed in his eyes. He's just oh, thank fuck. Can we talk about that?
But I think it's still a thing that he does know who he is, but he's going to keep going.
Maybe. What did y'all think about Catwoman?
Fantastic.
It was okay.
Yeah. Best Catwoman, period.
Even better than your
Selena
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Even better than Michelle Pfeiffer, yeah.
And Eartha Kitt?
Who?
The original woman?
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even consider that one. Yeah, no. 100. This iteration of Selena Kyle, excellent, in my opinion. You know, didn't overdo the cat motif. You know, she wore.
I find it weird that she puts on like the cat nails onto her regular nails instead of just wearing like a glove with the nails.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But yeah, as far as the nimbliness, yeah, I do like her as Catwoman.
So this didn't happen in my theater, but I was reading some like spoiler-free reviews of the movie before I went, and they were talking about how apparently some people just haven't gone to the movies in a while, so they like just don't think about like their surroundings. The very first, and this is actually the scene that I have here. The very first time that Zoe Kravitz comes on screen as Catwoman, apparently a person like moaned in the audience.
Oh Lord!
And I was just like, that is just
wait, what?
No one did it in my theater. This was like just a review that I read. It happened to someone that they were watching it. She came on.
Oh, I thought it happened in your theater. I was like, can you recreate that moan for me?
No.
I just want to hear it.
No. Yeah, like I said, it didn't happen in that film. Or rather in my viewing of it, but I just thought, man, that's funny. I thought she did great. I thought she was good.
I mean, we got Stalker Batman over here, like looking through binoculars, like doing the full on watching her undress. So
yeah, that was kind of awkward.
It was, but I mean, I can see why he would do because he's not interested.
I think we can all see why, Nick.
Oh no, we see why the movie did it.
I think we can all see why. No, but you know, I thought she was great. I do want to talk about the best character in the movie.
The best character in the movie, the Batmobile.
The Batmobile.
The Penguin? Boo! Boo!
the Batmobile, dude. I'm sorry.
That was
Colin Farrell,
such a hype car chase.
It was. Now
it was the lamest car chase.
Okay, now from an execution standpoint, like the actual car chase itself, I'd get it a solid 7 out of 10. I wasn't like, wow.
I literally went, "Oh, come on," when that stupid ramp magically appeared.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The 7 out of 10 stems from the fucking ramp just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but ramps come out of nowhere all the time in movie car chases. At least they like it wasn't just a truck that was going down, like one of those trucks but somebody just drives up it, like they always have it lowered down for that kind of thing.
Are you talking about a transporting truck?
Yeah, truck.
A truck.
Yeah, it's a truck that transports trucks. It's a truck.
Okay.
So Colin Farrell, I'd say, would probably be the second best character in this movie. But the Batmobile, when that fucking thing revved up for the first time and actually like just turned on,
that was badass.
I literally I like lifted up my fist and I was just like, fuck yeah. And then it was kind of followed by like an okay chase scene, and I was like, can we just
like if it wasn't in if it wasn't in the trailer,
right?
Like it jumping through the
flames,
like that fire, and like really barreling down on them. Still, I gotta jump out of it. Like, oh, okay, I like this.
I mean, that's the thing. Like the it was raw and kind of brutal. That particular car, and like him getting hit by other cars too, just to show like this thing isn't fucking impervious to damage or what have you.
Yeah, at least he did have the foresight to put bulletproof glass on it.
True.
Right. So I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like that one, I think execution wise was great. I almost was like, can we just keep rerunning that introduction a couple of times? Like let that be the car chase scene. Because like it was just so well done, and I've got like I'm on the stream right now. If you're watching, it's got like a little bit more of a close up. Because to be honest, this movie in its entirety, it's lit very darkly.
Yes,
it's raining constantly.
Yes,
so you just kind of barely get like the silhouette of things. There's even a scene where Riddler is like putting the bomb on the dude, and like the entire frame is kind of like out of focus and just wet, which annoyed the fuck out of me.
Well, yeah, but it was supposed to be like that because you weren't supposed to know exactly what was going on.
I know.
You know, if you went to a better theater, maybe you would have been able to make out those clear distinctions in HDR.
What theater did you go to?
I went to Cinemark.
Okay.
Cinemark. Wow. Where'd you see it, Jeff?
I saw it at Star Cinema.
Star?
I watched it in it was a Sony 4K projector, so it wasn't anything special. I do suggest if you all get a chance, I don't know how much it is. I watched it the first time. They have the Samsung Onyx projector there at that particular one. It's pretty fucking nice, I'd say. I mean, for this movie specifically, because there's a lot of just deep blacks in the color scheme. Like it probably would have looked really fucking sick on that projector. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, if you could see, like, I can't wait to like have this at home, and then I could watch it on OLED.
Yeah, I think it would look great on OLED. To be honest,
agreed.
So I think that pretty much covers the bones of the movie. As far as an actual story perspective, I thought it was okay.
Well. Yeah, the good bones of it. Then you got the one ending, which I hated so much.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I wanted to get to
that. Oh, God.
So the overall story, the Riddler, like clues and everything like that, I thought were good. I didn't think it was like bad in any stretch of the imagination. Let's just
hold on. I'm hearing you through David.
Yeah, I think David's echoing here.
I shouldn't be.
But you are.
Apologies.
Yeah. Let's just kind of get to the ending. I thought so the overall like ending ish part, where the Riddler's going through his whole speech and everything, and then the actual like blowing up of the seawall, like the villain actually having his shit happen the way he said would happen. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool. I think a bold move. The fact that it started flooding the city was pretty good. I thought for a moment it was going to be one of those things where it was showing like what could possibly happen,
But it
but
ended
then
up doing that.
but not actually happening, like that kind of bullshit. But yeah, no, they committed. They did a really good job with that. The ending, like the aerodome or stadium, I guess you could say, square garden or what have you. I thought that was okay. I don't know why he had to. Let me ask you guys this: the when he falls down and he has to use the tube, do you think that was just straight adrenaline, or do you think that was something else?
Oh, when I first saw it, I instantly thought Venom.
I think that's what
That's what
everybody
I
thought.
thought too, because it's green.
It's green,
Right.
so I think that's definitely like a subtle nod of things to come. Because
Well, I mean, every single card was a subtle nod to one of the Batman's road gallery.
right, which
So,
I liked. There's except for the very
right.
ending.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Obviously,
subtle nod.
there was
Yeah.
nothing subtle about it. Now here's the thing with the Venom thing. The reason why I thought Venom is there's actually a storyline where Batman creates the Venom, like the proto Venom,
Yeah,
and
which I think is definitely what may occur here. So this,
right.
um, sorry to let you know, David, but Robert Pattinson is signed for 3 movies.
Boo!
So this is probably the start of a new trilogy. This is already made, I think, as of writing.
I'm glad
Oh,
this is
it,
getting
it's the
recorded. I
it's the
can't wait
most.
till 5 years from now when David's like, "Oh, you know what? I've always said that he was the best Batman." And I dare anyone to say otherwise.
Nick is like furiously like, where the fuck is that podcast?
Right,
Like, I will look in my fucking archives.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think I'll ever say that, regardless of how good this ends up being as a series. More importantly, continue, Jeff, with your theory of
So
Venom.
I mean, I think that's going to be definitely something that comes to pass in a future movie. May not necessarily be the second movie or even the third one.
I kind of like the new background story for Martha and Thomas Wayne. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
explore it a little more. I'm getting strong Court of the Owl vibes.
Here's
Yes,
why.
and that's why I thought because that's what Pattinson said that he wants to do a Court of Owls since nobody's done that as a movie.
Right.
Here's I like that completely. I love Court of Owls. It was a great storyline. Here's why I have a problem with it. I got Amazing Spider-Man vibes from that entire plot line.
From which
If
one?
if you don't remember what I'm talking about, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, they made a huge deal about how Peter Parker's parents were involved in some sort of weird ass conspiracy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were into some sort of deep organization, and they were maybe bad guys, and who knows what they were really into, and they died as a result of it, that type of thing. Like, I swear, like, I get that it's kind of interesting to make them involved in some weird thing. Because first off,
I never knew that Arkham was.
yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I didn't know that Arkham was her maiden name.
Yeah, that's I think 1 or 2 storylines where Arkham is a part of that, because the Arkham family has been almost around as long as the Waynes have. So I think.
Well, but it's really weird that you talk about the Arkhams and the Waynes. They're Gotham City's families, but then Thomas and Martha and Bruce were the last Waynes, and you never see any other Arkhams. Like,
well,
okay,
we
what
could
happened to
assume,
everybody?
We could assume that there was something,
well,
some sort of
mental
psychotic
illness,
break.
right?
Yeah.
Because mental illness definitely runs in the Arkham family. That's obviously part of the plot line with this, with the Batman, with Martha. And that's why Thomas Wayne did what he did with Carmine Falcone. But here's the thing: the Arkham Asylum was established as partly because Arkham wanted to give back to that community, and if you played through the Arkham series video games, it goes into depth about the Arkham family. But he also, the proprietor of the Arkham Asylum, actually went insane himself and became a patient in his own asylum.
Hold the fuck
So,
up. Ben Shapiro reviewed the Oh my god.
oh no,
No. Can we just
hard
ban
pass.
that shit for now?
Hypothetically, if I was a Batman and you were Catwoman and you had your whip and you put it around my tight little neck, well, what would you do with your claws?
It was
and
pretty fucking good.
superheroes don't do that.
God damn. So delving into kind of the latter, let's just cut to the end, right? Everything's kind of wrapping up. Thought it was a weird, like, hey, we're gonna part ways, and then we're gonna have this awkward motorcycle ride together after we've already said goodbye, and then we're gonna go.
Ever, like, think of the scene in Fast and the Furious?
Yes, 100%. 100%, dude.
I was hearing the song too in my head.
one last ride, blah blah blah, or some bullshit like that. That's what I was getting in my mind. One last ride before we part ways, or some bullshit. Oh, I forgot about John Turturro for fucking Falcone. Great. Did a great job, dude.
I think every actor did amazing. I think even the supporting cast needs to get an Oscar for pretending that Robert Pattinson was frightening. You know,
I mean, like, the actual cast for this was really stacked. Colin Farrell's like the Penguin. I'm sorry, Jim, but he was better than DeVito. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, way better.
All right, so I don't like DeVito as Penguin because, one, I hate fucking Tim Burton films and just the whole aesthetic he does.
I love that aesthetic though.
But, like, as far as the Penguin, yeah, you got short and but, like, making him fucking part penguin, yeah, that was just weird. But then this guy, he doesn't really have the because Penguin's always been like, he's trying to be a socialite, but he's just not. And this, I don't get that. This is just he's just a mob guy.
Ezra, you bring up a really great point about the apartment. The thing, like, it's kind of creepy. Like, I get it's supposed to be like I don't know, like a castle tower, perhaps.
But it was definitely a tower. I wanted to say originally he was living in Wayne Tower.
Well, but that's the other strange part about it, though, is because, like, traditionally it's always been Wayne Manor,
right?
And like this here, like, it's a tower, so
in the middle of the city,
of
all places, right?
Overlooking everything.
Yeah, it was definitely strange. I'm not 100% certain how I feel
about
that.
Hugo Strange.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
So again, like, fantastic supporting cast. They even got like Peter Sarsgaard as a fucking like council guy, the DA, just like randomly. He's just like the cream of the crop acting talent, just randomly doing cameos. I thought that was interesting.
I mean, he played a rather large part, though.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he hit on Catwoman.
So the ending. Let's just talk about the ending. And I'm talking about the very end. It's where we see Riddler locked up. He's seeing that his plan didn't really work out fully as well as he could.
And he is just going,
yeah.
He's going into full psychotic break. Yep.
He was just having kind of a moment.
That's one way to put it.
That is one way to put it. And then you hear a voice.
Yes.
And as soon as you hear the voice, is where as soon as I heard the voice, I'm gonna throw it out here this way. That is instantly where the ending started to fall apart for me. And I'm talking
so here's the thing.
I'm talking like a million miles per second is where the ending started to fall apart for me. I was getting pissed.
Here's the thing. I actually thought it was Two-Face at first.
No, it wouldn't have been him because
it's kind of got that, funny voice where it's like, I have to be the Joker.
I did not hear that at all.
Instantly. As soon as you started talking, I was just like, he's got that. And the thing is, and I hate to say it, but like every Joker, for whatever
tries
reason,
to do Hamill.
Tries to do Hamill.
Hamill, yep.
And you can't do Hamill justice. He is the best Joker. And period.
Yeah.
And he just, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not even talking about Dark Knight either, so don't even.
Heath Ledger is my second favorite Joker. I'm just going to throw that out there. This is not the forum for that, though, because I know David's already getting itchy over there.
Yeah, he's a Cesar Romero stan.
I can hear just going, oh, God damn it, Jeff. But as soon as I heard the voice, as soon as he started talking, it just... I was pissed. Because, listen, we already had the Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix. We've had the Joker with Suicide Squad. We've had the Joker with...
Jared Leto.
Which is Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. We had the Dark Knight. Then we've had... It's just... I'm done with Joker.
The Joker is fucking over. Like,
I'm done with them trying to recast it. I'm done with you trying to like make it a new angle.
It's the exact same thing as killing his parents. It's just everyone's seen all of it. You can do it different angles. You can do it different personalities. It's just you've seen it a million times before. Just because someone has a different take on it, it doesn't make it any better. It's still the same fucking thing.
Like as soon as it happens, I immediately started to lose like any goodwill that had been built up by this film was just like plummeting for me because I was like, man, you guys did a great job with the Riddler. I thought he did really cool. And I was just immediately invested in like, okay, they did great with the Penguin. Like what could they do with Two-Face? What could they do with Victor Zsasz? What can they do with Calendar Man?
And I was talking to Ed about that. Like they have such a rose gallery. If they want to do a really like dark and gritty Batman, they could have brought in Victor Zsasz. They could have brought in Professor Pig. They could have did like the Court of Owls and made a real kind of thriller.
You know what I want? I want a real Victor Freeze.
Even that would have been better than. Let's bring in Joker.
I was even okay with Harvey Dent. I was good with a Two-Face.
Now, I'm going to point this out. The director has come out since and said that by his inclusion of that character, he is not alluding that it's going to be a setup for a sequel.
He even said most likely it wouldn't even be in the sequel.
Like, why the fuck then would you make such a big deal of having that character there?
Like, why would it be? It's because it's corporate intervention.
Because that really bums me out. Like, it's just like you give all of this money to do like a bold direction, and then an exec was like, "Well, we gotta have the Joker. Margot Robbie's really good as Harley Quinn. We should have her." Like, I swear to God, if she popped up in the last couple of seconds, I'd have been like, "This movie is garbage." I don't care. Whatever. Like this movie is just straight garbage. No recommendation. No redeeming factor. It's done.
It's like it's flaming garbage.
Full stop. Well, I've been like full stop. I'm done. But listen, all in all, until that very moment, I thought it was a good movie. I'm not going to say it was like fantastic and amazing and wonderful. It definitely has its flaws. It's way too long. great performances. Robert Pattinson's great. Has an okay story. And if I were to give it a firm rating, I'd probably say 7.5 out of 10. Just that's it.
The critic in me says I agree with you. The critic in me is like 70%, 75% out of 100.
It's not better than my favorite film, which is The Dark Knight. It's solid. I'd say it's very solid.
Right.
Has the bones of a great potential Batman franchise.
Correct.
Yeah, it's okay.
If I were now, here is the person who hasn't seen a good movie in theaters in literally, well, obviously aside from Bond, but
so
like,
you still haven't.
The average route, the average. Now, here's the thing though: the average moviegoer hasn't seen a movie in 2 years. Okay, it's been that long since most people have started getting back into movies. You know, the first real big release was Spider-Man: Far From Home. Or No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Sorry, right. Now
Eternals.
Nobody watched that. Now everyone's coming back for the Batman. This is actually Batman's biggest weekend release ever of any movie that he's been in. It's completely
like 150 million. It did better than was expected.
Way better.
Mm-hmm.
And that has a lot to do with the fact that you have a big name like Robert Pattinson headlining this movie. You have obviously other phenomenal actors, and again, the movie itself was phenomenal. If I were to rate that solely on the fact that I have not seen a movie in 2 years, this is definitely the movie that would bring me back into theaters. This is a movie that I would rate highly in the 90s on that alone. But again, this is somebody. If we were to take this movie, zip it back to 2019, this movie wouldn't be rated as good as it is right now.
Okay, so let's say if it's 2019, what would you rate? I
would rate it as 7.57.
Isn't that the same thing that you said it was?
No, I'm saying like I think a reason why it's getting rated so high by other people and by critics and stuff like that is because they haven't seen
Tomatoes,
right. It's like high 80s or low 90s, generally speaking.
Okay.
So as of this recording, it's 86% for the tomato.
I think it's gone. It's definitely gone down. Which is
audience. I'm sorry,
right?
Which is critic based. It has an 89% audience score.
That has also gone down. So it looks like
Nick.
The thing about like audience scores or even some critic scores is that it's kind of skewed. Not all of them will be on a like 1 to 10 scale where you can say nuance to a 7 or not. Some are just smash or pass, or wait for rent, miss it, or go see it in theater. So
I do want to point out, just for that point alone, can you guess when this is going to streaming? Just if you were to
next month,
April 19th.
Next month.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, well, I can definitely, because you have the whole thing with how movies would get shipped off to DVD like a month after it leaves theaters, sometimes weeks.
Yeah, and this feels sooner.
Streaming, you can just slap it in there real quick, so it spends its time in the theater, and immediately when theaters stop showing it, start putting it on streaming.
Yeah.
So I like that quick turnaround. But it would.
If you were to give it a rating.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I would be on the type of rating where it will just be miss it, wait to rent, or go see it in theater. And I would say go see it in theater because the ambiance and the sound design is much better in the theater with a good sound system rather than just watching it on TV with a home theater in a box kind of setup, unless you really have like a rockin' ass system. I'd say go see it in theater just to, like David said, dust off the cobwebs of not being in the theater for a while. But I would say it's definitely a good movie to see.
The soundtrack is not amazing, but the sound design is. And that's all I'll really say. So, if I think we're getting some echo again, David, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
You're okay. If you truly want to know the tone of this film and whether or not you'll enjoy it, if you the Joker is, I would say, extremely close to tone, visual, dare I say, soundtrack than any other like Batman movie. I would say.
You would say this movie's close to the Joker?
In terms of like, not necessarily style, but like cinematography. I'd say the soundtrack has a very like brooding. If you watch the Joker movie, right, it's definitely darker visually. This obviously takes in a completely different turn where it's just oppressively dark and rainy and moody. Like the Joker had a little bit of that, but I'd say it was like a slow burn. Is the best way to put it. The Joker was an extremely slow burn. I fell asleep during the Joker, or nearly did. That's not to say it was like a bad performance or anything. I started to fall asleep during it because I was starting to get bored. And I must admit, a little bit of bits in this movie too. I started to kind of get bored and kind of fall asleep a little bit.
Oh, don't worry. The people next to us literally were snoring.
The people next to us were doing weird things.
And
that's all I'm gonna say.
Did you go to one of those theaters that have the beds?
It's not a bed, but it's like
you heard clapping before the end of the movie.
Oh no!
No, it has like the walls that kind of go up above next to you, so you're like in a pod, if you will. But it's not a pod so much as like I can reach my hand over and be like over on the wall of this.
I mean, just say what it is. It's a jerk station.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, okay then.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys have any parting thoughts, we're at the 1 hour 40-minute mark. I think that's a pretty good place to stop. Is there any other thoughts that you guys had about this before we close out?
Oh no, I got nothing else. But I'm probably going to get off here because, oh boy, that Wendy's is working through me.
All right.
Good luck, buddy.
Well, and on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you coming on board.
And go take a Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just so you know, we do have streams every week. We have one actually tomorrow for Apex Legends, the Wednesday stream. We also have a stream on Monday, which kind of has a rotating game selection right now. The lads are playing Dying Light 2. So if you're interested in watching that, definitely give them a watch. Mondays at 8 p.m. is usually when they start. And occasionally we also have Pokemon Thursdays. We also have some streams on Sunday from Jim. And I don't know, I really enjoy doing this podcast with you guys. I think we might try to do a few more podcasts as things happen. David, I actually was thinking about if you have some time later on this week to talk about the new Apple stuff that just got released.
I'd be happy to.
Cool. So y'all have a great night. Thank you again for tuning in. Subscribe if you enjoyed the podcast. We are on all podcast platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcast, everywhere you can think. Just look for Rant On by Ranting Media is the full name of the podcast. So
we're in all the good ones.
Yep. Thank you all so much, and you all have a great night.